That's another Keith Richards thing to realise. Ah, shit. I'm beginning to tire and my energy is beginning to deflate. The great Sire himself, because you're running low on alcohol, mate. You've been for a walk. You've been out the house. You've been away from the bottle for more than half an hour. You're gonna be knackered. It's gonna take effect, mate. I think I need another bit more rye. Just to really identify the difference in taste and flavour. I do love the rye. It's getting quite low on the rye. That's a bugger. The only difference is Keith drank like a real rock star, as in he just drank it from the bottle straight. Little peanut over here with his Coca-Cola and his fucking sweetened up cinnamon. It's like if Mick Jagger had to go drinking what Keith drank, he would do it like the way I do it, basically. He would mix it up with some Coca-Cola. He wouldn't admit that it's basically a woman's drink. He would try and make out that this is some kind of superior blend of alcohols, and Coke makes it just. He'd come up with some really fabricated bollocks about why this drink is really cultured. But no, he just can't handle his JD, so he sweetened it up with liquor and Coca-Cola. Basically, I can't handle my JD like Keith. I sweeten mine up with Coca-Cola and cinnamon JD. You realise it's like a fuel. Can't be asked to eat. You find yourself eating, you just eat too much. Keith, I like to say Keith's exactly the same. Beggar's banquet. He doesn't go, if he goes for it, he goes for it. If he's going to eat, he's going to eat, he's going to dine. I love that bit when you see him in Pirates of the Caribbean 2. He finally does they fucked it up by making a Pirates of the Caribbean 4 just fucked it all up. It's like, what the fuck, Pirates of the Caribbean 4? Oh, mates were like, yeah, let's watch it. It was like, mate, immediately, as soon as they had the character of Blackbeard, it was like, ah, you fucking kikes. I don't want to watch this. I just slated it throughout the entire film. I don't know who the actor was. I think he was actually quite a good actor. I hated him because it was like, mate, you've just fucked up the first 3 movies, basically, trying to like franchise it. You couldn't franchise them. You can't franchise Keith's vision of the Rolling Stones and try and turn it into something that it's not. No, those first 3 movies were mint. The third one tied it up nicely. Why could you finally see Keith in it to say, this was the guy who we based it on. That's why he's Captain Jack Sparrow's dad. Furthermore, he's fucking Blackbeard. That's what I loved about Keith's just mentality. Very black, the Black Pirate of Rock. Kept going on about Blackbeard with his fucking Queen Anne's Revenge. He just fucking stole a slave ship. Think about it. Keith loves his blues music, loves African Americans. Like he just stole a slave ship on purpose to just fuck the British Empire with. Ooh, there you go. The Black Pirate of Rock. Who else would we mean? I know that they say he's based on Calico Jack. Probably is. No, he's based on fucking Keith Richards. We didn't know a Calico Jack until Keith Richards' fucking Jack Sparrow came along. And then people started trying to connect him with pirates in history. There was not a pirate like him apart from Blackbeard. If you read the fucking fine print, he's fucking Blackbeard. That's what Blackbeard was like. When he was a youngster, he was like Captain Jack Sparrow. You know, when he was making his way up the ranks, he was like Captain, he was this hapless fucking, you have still heard of me though, you know. And then once he grew his full, you know, how he is today, Keith Richards, he doesn't need a Blackbeard, he's that Blackbeard. He'd be completely clean shaven. He's that Blackbeard. His beard's no longer black. Because he painted it black already. Shit. Just that mentality of, you know, back in the day, we used to have to come to your Caribbean settlement, English residing settlement, enforcement, whatever you want to call it, and we would get our blunderbusters out. Blunder blasters. Lou would be hitting me for that. He wouldn't hit me, he never hit me. You know, you get what I'm saying. I played enough of fucking Assassin's Creed Black Flag to know better. Back in the day, we'd go with our big fuck off flintlock pistols and our swords. We'd pillage, we'd rape your women, we'd pillage you, we'd rob all your gold. Now we just play to you and you welcome us into your country and you give us your gold. But I love his entry in Pirates of the Caribbean, because he, Bishop Bourne was like, oh, it's Keith Richards in it. I bet he played his guitar. I was like, yeah, he did, but you don't get it, you bitch. He did exactly what Blackbeard would have done, because he is Blackbeard, exactly what Keith Richards would have done. He's in a meeting of all these great, okay, let's just put it in more modern terms so you understand what I'm trying to get at here. He's in a meeting with all these great musicians, and there's a lot of feuds there because they've been with each other over the years for decades. And this is to do with something, so it's an important issue that's being raised amongst this band. And you've got Paul McCartney over there, you've got Roger Daltrey, Ray Davies, you've got fucking Ozzy Osbourne, you've got fucking... they probably wouldn't invite Ozzy Osbourne, they're all a bit scared of him. And Keith's not in control of who's on the guest list either, so... so you'd have, if you're lucky, you might have Deep Purple, but I doubt it. You'd have Pink Floyd, you'd have Eric Clapton, you'd have possibly John Mayall's Blues Breaker Band, if he's still alive. Trying to think of the bastards. You get the drift though, do you not? You would have had the Small Faces, they're gone. The Rod Stewart there, most likely. We came later on. And they're all discussing and bickering. Keith just Blackbeard just kind of enters the room. He just has this great presence about him, you know, the one who doesn't say things anymore, but you remember how he used to sound when he did say shit. It was fucking stubborn, it was constant, it was very opinionated, it was very direct, it was thorough, direct, and methodical. Thorough, methodical, direct. Those were the ways of Keith. Whew. So they remembered, and so there's an immediate fear around his presence. The only person and in this situation, Capjack would be me, little peanut version of him, going, Jesus, it's Blackbeard himself. All right, Blackbeard, how's Mum? And he like gets out this skull of this dead head. She's doing well, son. He missed his mum that much when she died that he couldn't be parted with her head because he just loved her face that much that he had it as a necklace. Just kept it as one of his jewellery. What a legend. That's such a KEITHSTERZ thing to do. And he sits down in the corner away from them all. He just picks up this really humble looking guitar and he plays something like you could have never heard something being played. Just effortlessly. Nobody else can do it. That's why he's doing it. Just to keep him calm. Because the impact of that guitar, when it suddenly stops playing all of a sudden or it becomes distorted, it's like you've destroyed the rhythm of conversation yourself within the committee. And his music is how you converse merrily under his awe and presence. It's genius. It's just perfect. But he did more for rock than any of you lot, did he not? Well, for one thing, the one person out of every single people would actually remember all you lot and fucking back you and start saying, oh, remember these guys, remember that guy, oh, play that, this and the other. He was the only one who went out of his way when others was going, this guy's frightening, this guy's opinionated. Noel Gallagher started saying, oh, we shouldn't listen to people who are very angry on Twitter or fucking, you know what I mean, mate? I had a lot of bad press, just like at Doncaster's. What? Because Keith saw himself in me. He thought, that guy, even though he slated me more than anybody, I can see myself in him. He just had a very passion for what he was into. And when that was disturbed, it made him very angry. That's mint. I'm going to benefact him. I'll be his manager when everybody else shat on him, thought otherwise, would never give him a chance. Nobody ever gave me a chance. That's why it was like a dream come true times 1 billion. It was like I'd never believed I could be given a chance as great as that. I never knew something as great as that could ever happen for me. What, talking to my biggest idol, KEITHSTERZ, as if it's like he's a grandpa telling me what to do each day and, you know, in a really nice way, in a really gentle way, so I can help you, basically, as in financially fund me and the rest. Give me his black pearl. The only chance I ever had was at Doncaster's, which I rant and rave about, and they brought me in to get rid of the drug dealing fucking guy in I can't remember what block he was in. He was in I think B block was Baden Blaine. A block was fucking the Swarf and shit like that. You had a few more Baden Blaine machines which just weren't used in A block up at the top. And then you had the other one which was to do with, you had the bottom part which was to do with like, they were making stuff for aeroplanes from the 1980s, which third world countries were still using, and they were still having to make spare parts for them because these countries couldn't afford more modern aeroplanes. That's why that Malaysian flight, why, what, and what? It's because it's like they used a fucking aeroplane which they've been using since like 1987, and all they've done, instead of like doing anything other than just change a few spare, it was just like an accident waiting to happen. That's why I said go on your riskiest flight, Laura, because they use basically 30-year-old aeroplanes. If you're ever in that situation, both you're a goner. So it was A Block, John from A Block. I got along with him really well. The only thing that made me not get along with him was he was really jealous of this one manager who was a really decent family man, and a couple of kids, and they were beautiful little girls, and you could tell he was a really good dad with them. You could just see it from a distance. Didn't know anything more than that. The reason why I knew that is because I'd love to say swings and roundabouts. This lad was big. He did not like me. I can't remember for what reason. He just saw a vulnerability in me which he wanted to take advantage of. And I'm only a little guy. I was not prepared for this. And I was walking to Morrison's. He was walking to Morrison's too. He's waiting outside basically to offer me out. I was not wanting any of this, and I bumped into Matt. I was like, so releasing. Matt, how you doing? Because it was like strengthening. Suddenly it looks like I've got a mate, and he's bigger than you. He's Matt, and he's big. So this guy just backed off immediately, and it was brilliant. It was like I couldn't have had a better thank you. But at the same time, they did just get me in to literally buy the weed off this guy for them to have me fired and him fired so their team could move forward. I could see that that's what they were doing. Yeah, absolutely. And I agreed with it, absolutely. Even though this guy was a friend of Kevin. I didn't see that he was that great of a friend of Kevin because Kevin still died of depressive alcoholism. He wasn't doing a great job being his mate, in my opinion. And as soon as he was jealous of this Matt, he just wanted to let me know how many girls he could get, and Matt couldn't. I bet Matt, and it just made me feel sick. It was like I really looked up to Matt. I thought he was mint. I just hate you, even though I'm buying weed off you. I want you to burn, basically. I will, without even knowing, I will knowingly get you fucked. You know, you want to blame people, John. That was me. I live in Kevin Plimmer's flat. You know where I live. You've been to me flat because you're a good friend of Kevin's and you've chilled with me in it. Come get me, you fucking kike. I'll fucking rip your head off.